Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us recite Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin arrahmanir rahim maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. For Allah, you are the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most forgiving. Please forgive all our sins, our parents, our families, and the Muslim Ummah. For Allah, please bless us with knowledge and virtue. For Allah, please help us to face the challenges, difficulties, and hardship in our life. For Allah, please get rid of the pandemic and all other diseases. For Allah, you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to continue our class. We are in now week number 3. How are you, brothers and sisters? Alhamdulillah, still energetic or retired? For us, this is like our new chapter in our life. After 2 years of pause, 2 years of in hibernation, now we come back to our new chapter in our life. So we are very energetic, as if everything has been reset. Reset now, new chapter in our life, new experience in our work and also our activities. How are your brothers and sisters in the Zoom? Can you hear my voice? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you say something to reply to make sure that you and all of us here are connected? Lord Farahim, can you hear?
Yes, sir, I can hear your voice.
Alhamdulillah, very good to hear from you. Yi Wen Na from China, right?
Yes, sir.
So how's China now?
For my community, still in quarantine.
Can you if you near the window, etc., can you show us the weather in China? Can you go to the window and show us?
Sorry.
Can you go to your window? Bring
Window.
your phone to show to us.
Wait a moment.
Okay, our sisters and brothers would like to feel, even though we are here in Gombak, but we are together in China. Okay, besides China, who else? Anyone from Saudi Arabia? Oh, perhaps at this time in Saudi Arabia is sleeping time, right? 5 hours, right? Anyone used to be in Saudi Arabia before? 10 o'clock now, perhaps they are at 5.
Okay, sir.
Can you show us video? Okay,
Because I
okay.
use the laptop.
Which part of China is that?
This is my community.
You live in a high-rise building, right? Flat. Okay, okay. Oh, everybody stay at home, right?
Yeah, most people still at home.
Oh, they are not able to go out.
Yeah.
Like MCO, right? Movement Control Order.
Yeah.
So do you want to show us some? Oh, you don't have other scene like trees, mountains. Do you have mountain that you can show us from your window? Mountain? Is there any mountain there or trees? beside the building, because your building just like our building, right? Like the Mahala, right? Yeah, our brother and sister here see every day the Mahala. Your house is just like Mahala here, right? You know Mahala hostel?
My Mahala.
Mahala, right? Mahala hostel.
Mahala
Your
Mina.
house just like hostel here. Your friend here, they live in the hostel. Okay. How many floors? 5, right? I think yours taller than theirs, but they also see building every day. Okay, never mind. Send our regards to your family. How's the weather? The temperature over there? People here are sweating, even in the aircon room. I can see, sweating. Just now they have to take off their mask temporarily to wipe their face. How about your sister? Very cold, right? In China now?
Yes, still cold.
What is the temperature?
Temperature, I think, 10, about 10 degree or
10 degree, very good, right?
12 degree.
Temperature, right? That is good for sleeping. Okay, but don't sleep, sister?
Oh,
You
yes.
are together with us. They cannot sleep, because I can see that. If they're starting to sleep, I'll ask them to stand up.
Okay.
Let us
Thank
continue.
you.
We have discussed about making decision on Tuesday. It is important. It is very important task for managers to make decision. We have the step-by-step process to make decision. However, the step-by-step is only in principle, okay? Only in concept. But we have to look at also our situation. Okay, there are 5 situations that managers have to face in every day. Okay, for example, if you are in the stable, certain, okay, and full information, logical, okay, therefore we can apply the step-by-step process. We call the rational approach. Okay, rational approach. Mean to say logical, certain, stable. That is only in theory. In practice, not all the times managers are facing the stable situation. Most of the time they are facing the non-stable or partially stable. So we go into the bounded rationality approach. Okay, second bounded rationality approach. The third one is the intuitive approach. Intuition based. We don't have information. We don't have any clues. We don't have ideas what to do. But we still have to make decisions. Like it or not, what happened after 1st April? No idea, isn't it? People asking, what will be your business likelihood after 1st April? We have no idea. Because we do not know what is the SOP is going to be used. We open our border by 1st April in Malaysia. But Thailand doesn't want to open on the 1st April. All right? They will open perhaps in the middle of May. Some of you live in the border between Thailand and Malaysia, right? I think from my experience, I have friends. They live at Rantau. Rantau what? Rantau Abang or Rantau Panjang? Oh, I confused between these 2 Rantau. Rantau Abang must be in Terengganu, isn't it? With all the turtles and nice beaches, right? Rantau Panjang, flood all the time, isn't it? Flood all the time. Because the water they cannot go out. Okay? But one thing that's very important is the river, right? Sungai Golong. I thought Sungai Golong very, very wide. Like Sungai Pahang or Sungai Rajam or Sungai, Sungai Pahang, very far, but actually it's very small one. Here is Malaysia, Rantau Panjang. Over there, between like here is me in Rantau Panjang. Over there is Thailand. You know what? This is just, their kampung is in Thailand. They study here in Rantau Panjang. But they have two IDs, two identity cards. Malaysians, no, you cannot have two, right? Okay, why the Malaysians cannot have two IDs? Your history of Malaysia, general knowledge about Malaysia, why that we cannot have two IDs? No idea, mashallah. Our sisters, the final year, anthropologists, sociologists, why we can't have two? No, no. Because people in Malaysia practice monogamy, therefore only one. No, because of the jus soli principle, right? The jus soli principle that subscribed in our constitution, nation can only have one ID. If you are Malaysian, and then you choose to be Malaysian. If you don't want, you have to surrender your Malaysia's ID and go for another country's ID. But other countries, you can have as many as you want. No problem. They are very umatic. But Malaysia very individualistic, only one. But people in Rantau Panjang, they have two illegally. One, nation ID, another one, the Thai's ID. And actually, some of them, they earn for living by catching fish and also some, marine life in the river, between the river of Sungai Golo. And Sungai Golo also popular for the smuggling of rice. Okay, tom yum, som tam. What else? Because people in Thailand, in Kelantan, they cannot eat the rice that sold in Malaysia. Am I correct? Am I correct? Kelantanese, they cannot eat the rice sold in Malaysia. They have to smuggle. They have to import rice from Thailand because they say the rice of Thailand is more nutritious, more fat friendly, and also fragrant, isn't it? That's what they say. And if you want to taste the tom yum, authentic tom yum, you don't have here in Malaysia. Because the authentic ingredients is only available in Thailand. That's why those who are not careful, they don't care. As long as you call tom yum, alhamdulillah, bismillah, alhamdulillah, khalas, and you enjoy this tom yum. But according to the authentic Thai people, they say whatever served in Malaysia, they are not the authentic. For us, we don't care, isn't it? We go to Mahala, say tom yum, okay, as long as tom yum, already go, right? Because you never tasted the original one. But who cares, right? But people in Kelantan, they are very concerned about the authentic taste of their food. But that's why this is another reason why the Thai people are always healthy and they're not obese, because they eat really the real food. But we in Malaysia, because we don't care what we consume. Okay, as long as food, people call food, we also call food, and then we can accept it as a food. But people in Thailand, they are very careful. So we have to learn, the scholarship, the practice of people in Thailand. Okay? For your information, people in Thailand, southern Thailand, they are not the people in Bangkok. They are just like all of us. Just like people in Kelantan, they speak Malay also, but not the bahasa Malaysia. They speak what?
answer cannot, follow what they speak. How they speak, right? Instead of makan, they say market. With the lahjah, right? Market. Abe kakok, right? Adik kakok. Akok, right? Adik kakok make akok. Make akok. You know akok, sister? You should try. In Ramadan, inshallah. It's only available in Ramadan. Okay? And then the princess having bath. Very un-Islamic food. Princess are having bath. And then jump and kill. Can you translate jump and kill? Jump and kill. Or jump and stab. See, the kind of food called jump and stab. Very, very dangerous food, isn't it? It's just now very un-Islamic. Princess have open bath. Now you jump and you stab. All this from Kelantan, Darul Naim. Okay, another one, rhinos. Rhinos in the river. Okay, these are the food that created by people from Kelantan and Thailand. But if you go to Kuching, they say stab. They say stab. What does it mean? What does it mean? They say tikam in Kuching. Lompat tikam is a food, jump and stab. But if you go to Kuching, Sarawak, anyone from Sarawak here? If they say tikam, it's not literally you stab people, but Sarawak came here. You know, they said kami kita, right? Kami who? Kami me. Kami me or kami me you. Kita and then tikam. Tikam mean throw to me, throw. And then don't say them to you want to oppress someone. Don't say that you are cantik or you're beautiful. They will be angry. You say kacap. These some of the words that people use in Sarawak. Okay, so coming back to here, uncertainty. We use our intuition. We use our values. What was the Sharia, for example? Number 4, we use evidence. Okay, we collect data based on data that available or anything that can provide support in your decision making. And number 5, you go for the crowds. Okay, like town hall, engagement session. So these 5 approaches that you can use. It depends on the situation. What are the situation? If your situation is already understood, repetitive, it is happen all the time. We call the program decision. Okay, therefore you apply SOP, procedures and policy. But if the situations are new, never happened before, therefore you apply non-program decision. Non-program decision, you don't have the policy, you don't have any procedures because never happened. Okay, next we're talking about the style of decision making, depending on how you can tolerate with your ambiguity, uncertainty, how much you can tolerate. Okay, and then what is your preferences, whether you are using rational or intuition. Managers in Malaysia, okay, I would like to share with you managers in Malaysia, not your generation, my previous generation and my generation, we are used to numbers. You know numbers, facts and figures, right? These facts and figures people, they can only live with numbers. And they cannot tolerate with ambiguity. Okay? If you can't tell us, we will be confused. we will be having headache. We don't know what to do. Please tell us. Mean to say they are not the person can tolerate with uncertainty or unambiguity. They cannot tolerate. Because they are not the one that love to be, use their mind. Yeah, they don't want to use their mind. They only wanted to be directed. This is the situation in Malaysia currently, because this generation that have been trained with the regulation. Normally managers in Malaysia in the background of legal law. Lawyers, right? Lawyers, they have been trained to the law. So they only follow the book. Accountants follow numbers, isn't it? If you have accountants in your family, you have to give numbers. No numbers, masalama. Okay, I have family, argue with this concept, that concept. At the end of the day, what is the bottom line? What is the cost and benefit? Okay, we have to buy furniture. What is the cost of furniture and what's the benefit of the furniture? To replace furniture, what is the cost and benefit? Some of them, they have furniture of 30 years old furniture. But they said the furniture is still good. Why do you need to change? Give us the reasons, the hard reason to change the furniture. Why then we need to change the car? The car is still okay. You will be dying, to argue with accountants, with lawyers, with engineers, with architects. These are the people that heading our entities in Malaysia. So in order to reduce dependency on the facts and figures, we need to have people from the non-science to be also in the management. Okay, sociologists, anthropologists, business, management. These are the people who have the application of arts, not just numbers. Okay, we need numbers, but we cannot just totally depending on numbers. So what happens if you are just numbers? We cannot progress. We will be stuck. So therefore, I would like to urge all of you, that's why you need to explore yourself to the non-numbers. Community engagement that your student affairs encouraging you to do, right? Your project even, right? It's about your virtue, your buddhi. Yeah? Have you heard the term buddhi? We want you to be buddhiman and buddhiwati. Buddhiman brothers, buddhiwati sisters. Buddhiman means knowledge and virtue. And this is garden of knowledge and virtue. At the end of your process, any process, not just after graduation, you will be the buddhiman and buddhiwati. Contribute to the cats. The cat can say, "Thank you, buddhiman and buddhiwati, for feeding me food." Alright? And then your friends will be very happy to show me how to clean our room. Alright? How to repair our doorknobs and how to do rewiring in our hostel. Some people, they are very, they wanted to rewire because all the time they have problem with the electrical cards. So they wanted to do rewiring. So this is something that no numbers in there. Right? It's all about values. But again, we come to numbers when we need to do the budgeting and so forth. Okay. So those what we discussed in the previous discussion. Next, we want to know why sometimes managers, they do not want to follow the step by step. They don't want to follow the good practice. They apply shortcuts. They apply shortcuts. Why is it they apply shortcuts? Or heuristics, because they don't want to die into the complexity, into the uncertainty, into the ambiguous information. They want to have happiness in their life. Okay, and they use shortcuts. Okay, based on their impression. For example, first impression. That's why people always track into the scam because the impression, isn't it? Impression. They don't want to do tabayun, verification. They don't want to chat with others. Oh, this is good. Oh, charity. They trap into the scam. The retiree give 600,000 in their savings. Some, we used to have also those who work in the used to be investigators, used to be accountants, used to be auditors, lost all the money from the savings because of the scam. All right. So because first impression, we thought that, oh, if you wear nicely, oh, you must be trustworthy person. But if you go into behavioral, we don't look at your first impression, isn't it? Then we don't judge a book by the cover. We have to flip. Title page, copyright page, table of content, the content, the appendix, the reference, cover, front cover, last cover, and then wait, and then look at publisher. This all complex, difficult, time consuming. Managers say, I have no time. That's why I use the first impression, for example. And this leads to the errors and bias. Your decisions are harmful. Your decisions are not optimizing the resources. Remember, you have to be efficient, right? And effective. But because of this, you will do problem to your organization. So these are some of the errors and biases that happen in decision making. Overconfidence. Oh, I already managed this firm for 30 years, 40 years. So what? Okay, so some people to be a little bit rude. Okay, 40 years. So what? Okay, so what? 40 years. 40 years mean history, isn't it? But we are not history. Okay, now it's different. 30 years ago, 40 years ago are different. Therefore, you have to be realistic. Now we are in the post-COVID, or we are not endemic, right? Your situation, we don't have any pandemic. We only have malaria. We only have chicken pox, right? But now we have more. In the past, only HIV. Now we have COVID-19, Omicron, Megatron, Deltron, right? Delta plus Omicron, they said Delta. Daddy-tron plus Omicron, Daddy and Omi. Have you heard that? One Indonesian speaker say, no, brothers and sisters, now you have to be careful. Now, in the past, we only have alpha, beta, theta. Yeah? Now we have Ummi. Ummi, no? Ummi what? Mother. Mother cron. Mother cron must be more dangerous because mother can reproduce. And then father, delta, right? Daddy cron plus Omicron. What happened? Daddy and Umi? More offspring, isn't it? Be careful. That is non-scientific, This is just metaphor. What call, imagination of the person. Cannot be overconfident. You have to be realistic. Okay? Overconfidence can make you into errors also. Immediate gratification. Rushing for rewards. Okay? Rushing for reward. Okay, if I do this, what will be the outcome? Okay. Handsome couple. Asal kaya. In 1 minute, you can get 1 million. Oh. 1 minute, 1 million. 2 minutes? 2 million. 2 million what? So you have to ask 2 million what? 2 million rupiah? How much is 2 million? 1 million rupiah is how much? About 330 ringgit. But the word million, right? You never say, sir, million what? If million US dollars, mashallah, very good, right? But if 1 million rupiah, for 1 million Mexican pesos. Oh, it's not very good, right? So we have to be careful, no, with the immediate rewards. Remember, in Islam, we have to be careful, you know. Normally, you know, the principle is high risk, high return. Cannot be no risk, high return. It is not logical. Okay, there must be something not correct, something wrong, something uncertain, something riba, okay, something gambling, maisir. Cannot. The moment you have riba, wrong, maisir, Allah. Fitnah. Okay, we don't want to be sinful. Okay, be careful. Scam also use this technique. Okay, you know, you invest just, you know, 1 ringgit, you get 1 million, 2 ringgit, 2 million. If 1,000, million. Oh, million, no? That attract you. So be careful. Manager also, don't be so easily trapped into this situation. Next, anchoring effect. You already stacked your information and you already have an idea, you don't want to change. Okay? You already, like, you know, determined, I want to do this, anchor, no? You already anchored to that, you don't want. Basically, we have to be that dynamic and we have to look at the situation. Next, selective perception. Okay, you selective mean you already chose certain events, certain situations that you think that these are good. Good for example, if the project is in near Singapore, the project must be lucrative, must be good, but you do not know other factors. Okay, you have to check other factors. Confirmation reaffirms of the past choices. Hey, in the past we do this okay. In the past, how many years? In the past, before pandemic, no. In pandemic, people still uncertain what to do. Even Saudi Arabia already lifted, right? No more restriction of COVID-19, right? Free, Alhamdulillah, ya Allah, free. Many states already announced by 1st April. So, now you don't have any more gap. Now you can close the gap, close the ranks. But we are waiting from Selangor. Are they going to announce the same or different? Okay, many states already announced. Okay, but again, some people still have this, you know, called trauma, isn't it? If I close, you know what happened? No, stay close, what happened? But they say close, stay close, no problem, as long as you're wearing your PPE, isn't it? Am I correct? PPE? Are we going to wear PPE? This is part of PPE, right? Personal protective equipment. One of them is this. Then framing. Framing, so you also put yourself into the situation that you have not verified, okay, or rechecked. What else the rest cannot be seen? Okay, availability. But this one not about the 4 A's that I mentioned on Tuesday. Okay, remember the 4 A's. Anything that you do should have 4 A's, right? Anything that you do for the people, you should have 4 A's. A number 1, you make it available. Okay, like your project, make it available. Announce to people. Okay, I have project of feeding the cats. So please, you know, donate some money or your effort to help the cats. Okay, available. Number 2, accessible, isn't it? Can be seen, can access, you can see, you can use. You have the evidence. Number 3, affordable, everyone can participate. They can give their kind, you know, their effort, and also their money. And number 4, appropriate, okay? Suitable with the context, norms, culture, rules, and also situation. But available here is about your first impression. whatever is recent to your memory. You know, your investors promise. If you willing to go for my project, I will provide you with a lot of profits for this project. Okay? And then they show, these are the example that just happened. With this particular impression that available to you and you don't verification, you accept it. Be careful, brothers and sisters. Most recent mean people play with the first impression. It's not that we have to be negative all the time. Of course, COVID-19, we have to be negative all the time, isn't it? COVID must be negative all the time. But here, we cannot be, have the negative, the suzan to people. Yeah, we need to have the suzan. But we have to be careful. Tabayun. We have to verify the situation. Okay, representation, represent means it is resemble, closely near and also related to the events of other situation. Resemble of, for example, the project of the factories, manufacturing in the free trade zone. We say, okay, we have free trade zone, we can apply the same into the digital trade zone. How to have a digital trade zone? If digital means virtual, isn't it? Digital is virtual, right? How can you have a zone? Circum territory. And the circum territory, no line. Many times, in my experience, okay, I stood exactly under the signage. You are now in the circum territory. My handphone, no line. That's only we call impression, right? But in reality, no line. When you have no line, no telco line, means you are useless. Okay? So that cannot be resemble that they have that service. Random means it is not carefully selected. Random, out of random. Okay, you don't really careful in your selection. Sunk cost. What is sunk cost? Cost they already gone, isn't it? Okay, the money that you invested already gone. Whatever already gone, can you retrieve back? Can you retrieve? Call back. Sunk cost, come back. You cannot. What already sunk, it is sunk. It's your mistake, right? Now, can you use that particular sunk cost into the current project? Retrieve that sunk cost through the current project. It is not appropriate, right? It is not appropriate. What already sunk, already passed. It is now you cannot use the new project in order to cover the cost that already gone. You cannot. If you do that, and then you are actually, this is what you call the escalation of commitment. Your decision is wrong. Self-serving, this one you know, for your interest, isn't it? Anything good? Oh, this is me, because I'm the manager at that time. It's like, I was the manager at that time, but in the transition, not get handed over, not get formalized, the previous manager actually. Okay, everything good, it is you. Everything bad, others. Sometimes they blame the weather, they blame the situation, not themselves. Okay? And hindsight, this was another comedian. They say everything already happened. Then they say, last time I already told you, don't proceed, but you don't listen to my advice. No, what happened? But what was he or she doing at that time? Did he say anything? He was quiet, isn't it? He didn't say anything. He only said, I used to say, and this is because of hindsight. As if you know already, but actually, if you know this, why didn't you tell them? This is another hypocrisy that happened. And all these are real. It is real. It is not superficial. It is not surreal. It is really happen in every day. Okay, every generation happen the same thing. Okay, of course the sophistication will be different. Yeah, different era, different technique, different approaches. But these errors, that's why I call these errors are common errors. They are common. Okay, how to overcome those errors? How to overcome that? This is what you will be asking, right? In the essay, suggest 2 ways to overcome errors and biases. Sometimes they don't just ask in general, they ask suggest how to overcome overconfidence. Okay, this is some of the guidelines. Number one, what you have to do, you have to be aware. Okay, aware of your situation, okay? Aware of your context. Number two, pay attention to how, okay? To how you make decisions. Okay? Is it based on shortcuts or heuristic? Or is it based on your analysis? And always, always do not work in silo. In the narration in the court about one MVP, because managers make a silo decision. Silo means alone, not Milo. Silo is nothing to do with Milo. Even though sometimes people try to say silo Milo. Silo means alone, lone ranger. Trust, always consult people. Okay? For Islam, we have shura. Okay, shura. Shura means we consult people, right? We consult people for their opinion. Of course, managers have to make decisions. The responsibility is, the onus is on the managers, not others. But you need to apply all these to overcome the errors and also biases. You don't want to be personal, to have personal interest for yourself. Okay, if you want to add, you can add more. If you can use digital devices to use a lot of what you call analysis and so forth, using nowadays what you call the big data, use artificial intelligence and so forth. But I think artificial intelligence so far, they also depending on our human intelligence. Okay, they are not very smart up to the humans intelligence. Okay, now how to apply shura? Okay, from Surah Al-Imran, okay, chapter 3 in Surah Al. Allah said, take counsel from them in matters of importance. Okay, okay? We have to have shura, consult people, and when you are resolved on the course of action, place your trust in Allah. فَإِذَا أَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. First, you have to consult. When you do consultation, once you agree, you must reach agreement, okay, in your consultation, or you have a final verdict or final outcomes, and then you're still not confident. Allah said, you have to azam, you have to determine, you have to have confidence, and then place your trust. Tawakkal ala Allah. Tawakkul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Because why is that we have to make effort and we have to tawakkal? Why don't you just tawakkal? That reflect our duties as servants. Servant means we have to have faith in Allah. Number two, we are khalifah. Khalifah means we have to work with others and we have to put our trust in Allah. As servants, put trust in Allah. Work with others, khalifah. Right? After that, you are powerless, right? And then you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah provide us the good outcome. Remember, we have effort, we have the technology and software that we use, We put tawakal to Allah, inshallah. You must believe, strongly that Allah will give you the best outcome to you. The turnout outcome could be different because Allah wanted to give us the best outcome. In case the outcome is different from what you expected, never ever say you fail. But what Allah gave is only the best for humans. Remember, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. You put Allah's name, confident in Allah, the outcome will be ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And the turnout to your mind, it is not ar-Rahman, no. It is actually the best for us. Okay? So in order to put in the practice, what will you do? To put the place in Allah, to ask Allah help. How to demonstrate tawakkal to Allah? We have istikharah, isn't it? Yeah, istikharah. Istikharah not just to choose between IIM and other university, isn't it? Istikharah, and some people say istikharah not yourself because we are not yet thinking about marriage. Only marriage we have istikharah, right? Other things, what to wear, what to eat, also, is that in istikharah? Nasi ayam or nasi tepung? Nasi ayam or nasi tepung? Allah Akbar. Istikharah. You don't know because you're confused. Istikharah. Okay? Istikharah to rakaat. If you already practice this istikharah, then you will be becoming habit to you, make istikharah. Yes, scholars do istikharah before they decide to publish their chapters and also their work. They do istikharah. فَإِذَا أَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. So you have done your work, you have written everything. Istikharah. Okay? Istikharah get what? You get reward, isn't it? By praying 2 rakaat istikharah. In Ramadan, more reward, isn't it? You recite 1 ayat, mean 10 times of the reward. So istikharah. Okay? Make yourself happy to have istikharah. Okay? Don't use istikharah during big days only. Every day, every item, every matter is also right. Every matter is important in our life. Make istikharah. Then surely Allah loves those who put their trust. Inna Allah yuhibbul mutawakkilin. So this is the words that we are commanded by Allah to practice. Husnul zan to Allah is very important, brothers and sisters. And we have to have in our mind, Allah is the most merciful, the most forgiving. We ask Allah help, Allah will give us help. But turn out different from what expected. It's also mercy of Allah. Never ever in our life has no mercy from Allah. Because sometimes mercy we ask, sometimes mercy given, isn't it? You never ask for oxygen, isn't it? But you are given, right? Allah makes your oxygen 99, 100% oxygen. That one when you are in isolation, isn't it? Oxygen 95, 93. Oh, worry, right? 93, 95. Oh, 99, 97, 94 again. Oxygen also in pandemic very valuable, isn't it? Oxygen level. Go to clinic. Check oxygen first. Never ever in our life people check oxygen, isn't it? Now every day to check oxygen. But here we don't have the meters to check your oxygen. But not required that if you can stand, you can run, because you have enough oxygen. But if you cannot, you are sleepy, might be less oxygen. You can check your oximeter whether or not you have enough oxygen. We never ask oxygen, oh Allah, please give oxygen. Oh Allah, never, right? But Allah give us, right? So always have husnul zan to Allah. Allah is what Allah going to be given to you is what you think. This is another teaching in Islam. If you think Allah that way, that will happen. If you think Allah give you this way, that also will happen. You are going to happen what actually you have in your mind. Okay, that's the way we hablum minallah. Yeah? The way we have relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe that Allah will give us. But you have to do. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Must have the effort first to do. Ikhtiyar must be there first. Okay? Effort must be there. Knowledge must be applied. Acquire knowledge. Iqra must be there. First, knowledge. And then consult. And then only firm in belief, do it with the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Istikharah at night, tahajjud, believe in Allah, inshallah. This is the meaning of Tawhidic paradigm. Okay? If you do not know what is that paradigm, this is what Allah showed this in Al-Imran. What is the implementation of Tawhidic paradigm in our life? In the context of decision making. Not just anything. Okay? You must have the azam, tawakkal, and then always have a good connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, this is another way, to apply the tawakkal in ourselves, or the Tawhidic paradigm ways. For example, as here, include Tawhidic paradigm in your suggestion. So, for example, aware of them and then not using them. Mean to say, here continue to have Iqra. Iqra mean here. Okay, take counsel. Or you do research. Okay? Research involve other parties, not alone. Yeah? You cannot do research alone. Okay? Do research. Or get opinion from others. Okay? Even you have a trusted individual. Trusted here, they are qualified. For example, when you consulted accountant, chartered accountants, okay? Not a Bachelor of Accounting student in second year. But if you can consult them, you want to do for your school project, okay, they are not yet qualified. Trusted here can be competent also. Okay? What is the meaning of competent? Prophet Musa and the two ladies. Remember the history of Prophet Musa and the two ladies? Remember that? Prophet Musa alaihissalam and two ladies were waiting to take water from the well. What was that?
Asked her to make this guy his
Servant.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the father understood that he liked it. And then the father come to this guy, our prophet, and ask him to be a
But initially, what made not because of this prophet Musa have a good master, etc. But in translation, or we doesn't mean master, not sado. Now the term used in Malaysia, sado. But you can be trusted. I mean two things. Okay, competent here, trusted here, I mean. Okay, not the person named Amin. Amin, okay. You can be trusted. I mean. Okay. Another lesson that our brother mentioned, if you wanted to find your spouse, you have to look at for this Amin as well. Okay? Not just good, charming, but no Amin, cannot be. If the name is Amin, also not enough. But some brother here, my name doesn't have Amin, so what to do? Put Amin, right? Patah Amin. Patah Amin cannot be anymore, right, sister? Right? Patah Amin already taken, right? Patah Amin no longer available. Section closed. According to Islam, still have section available, right? You know Patah Amin, right? Patah Amin section already closed from one perspective. Another perspective, section still available. Another 3 sections available for Patah Amin. One section closed, another 3 section open. So just that one is just example trusted. Okay, back to Shura here. These are the steps in Shura. Okay, now let's look at the contemporary use of approach, technology, and also design. So managers can use the design thinking. So as if management is just like art and design. AD, we have arts and applied art and design in the field of architecture. Design can be whether you want to follow, they call the design of, there's so many philosophy of yin and yang, and philosophy of temperature, balance, design, and so forth. So, but here design as if you are a designer. Okay, so in order to understand the situation, you have to put yourself into the context, empathize. Okay, you have to conduct research, understand the situation. This part of ECO also, and then define. Use the research to understand the needs. Okay, understand here, fahmu. Okay, and fahmu is not just faham or understand, but behind the fahmu we have also ta'aruf. Okay, we have here. We have here ta'aruf. The short form, you have gone through this, right? What you call this? How many days you've gone through your Tawai? Have you gone through Tawai, sister? Therefore, you're not official yet. Not official. All students must go through Tawai, and then after that? After that, what? You have never taken any oath? We hereby follow the rules and regulations of IOF at all the time, right? But only one person like this. After all, online, right? This video, that the record of bias is not there, yeah? Because now if the non-pandemic time, every student they were trained to take the oath, right? The bias, until they can feel, not just one person recited the bias, but the rest must also recite. When you take oath, you already agreed, you already before that you've gone through your ta'aruf. They introduce you. Yes, ta'aruf is very important. Okay, ta'aruf. To say you do not know what others are, as mentioned, but ta'aruf week. But actually, ta'aruf is not this week. Ta'aruf is continuous. Arafah. You have to continue to get to know. After ta'aruf, done, right? Then you took the bai'ah, and then you go through into the system. Then you already have then you are doing the process of tafahum. Okay, the process of faham. Okay, after that, you cannot just stop there. You have to work. You have to do the ta'awun. Cooperate among the people. So here you do the ideation, brainstorming. Every day brainstorming. Never ever stop. Okay? Because when you do brainstorming, you always activate your cognitive or your minds. And then put into prototype. The designer, they have the prototype. You can have your sample. Okay? Or in the context, it could be your abstract of the complexity situation, ta'awun. After ta'awun, you conduct the test, and then you will do the implementation. Here, whereby you have the takaful, you materialize. And in materializing, you have to protect each other. And all this in the context of, in Islam, is the usrah. Okay. In usra, you have ta'aruf, tafahum, ta'awun, and takafur. And if you look at here, the process actually, when human work in this context, usra reflect what we call collective. Jama'i. Okay. Talking about collective manner or group, or we call in Islam is amal jama'i. Jama'ah. Okay. That's why we perform salat to jama'ah, right? We have imam, we have the followers, right? Jama'i. In Jama'i, the collective main, we have to be insan kamil. All of us insan kamil. We are perfect. And therefore, we'll do the takmil. Takmil wal istiqbal. Have you heard this term? Never heard, huh? First time. From the word insan kamil, this is kamil mean from the word kamil. Insan kamil mean we are the perfect creation. We are the perfect creation. We are perfect actually, perfect. We have power. We have power of intellect. We have power of behavior. We have power of akal. We have power of emotion. In our emotion can make others also affected. If you're angry, you can make the others also become angry also. If you are happy, you can make others also happy. Right? You have that power. Other creatures, wow, mashallah, salute you, Khalifah. Your anger can be felt by others. If you don't believe, you can do this experiment. People in the West, they did this experiment. If you're happy, you're happy not from your emotion, but you're happy from your heart. When you're happy, you transfer the happy waves aura to others, and others also can feel that. This is we call the waves. Therefore, do not mix with people who are always have the negative waves or the su'uzon, because you can get the waves of the person. And that's why we have to decide to do that. Okay? With that, we are perfecting each other. We are perfect, but we are complementing each other so that our outcome is always perfect. That's why the action of shura. Okay? Shura is very important to reflect our role as servant and viceroy of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Okay? By doing shura, we are doing takmil or istiqbal. We are complementing each other. Like in a marriage, husband and wife complementing each other. Okay? Husband gonna say, I'm superior. I'm PhD, I'm professor, therefore I'm superior. No, that's just it. You do not know what is what are your weaknesses. Right? For example, like me, okay, already professor. But when you are in the interaction with your spouse can see your weaknesses. But actually, not to say that you are imperfect, you are weak, but actually, what you have or what you don't have can be complemented by your spouse. Therefore, you can achieve the kamil expression. Then you have the the sakina. By the way, my spouse name is not Sakina. Huh? No Sakina. Sakina is not famous name. Sakina means tranquility, peace. Sakina. And then when you are sharing the Sakina, then there's also people say don't share Sakina. Huh? Then we have the Mawada. You know what is Mawada? Affection. Okay? Affection means you have kindness. You have your love to another person. Okay? And you have care in the form of we have love and care, mawada. And finally, mercy, right? Rahmah. Not to say that I'm promoting this person have three sisters by the name Sakina, Mawadah, and Rahmah. This is not person name. This is the qualities of our amal jama'i and takmil wal istiqmal. Okay, you cannot find this in the textbook. This one cannot be written, cannot be found in the textbook, rather through your readings, through your experience, and also your sharing with others. I also obtained this from so many sources in my life. All right, here going. Okay, big data is available nowadays. It's help you to store and retrieve and make your decision very fast. But again, you also need to use your sense. Okay, still need to have your what I call shura. Artificial intelligence are good, but they are not humans. So we have to give the humanity. So what is lacking here? They don't have human. What is human here? The color is not bright. See the color. Oh, this one better. Human means you have to have your kindness, okay? Your kindness, your love, okay? And also your what I call your good perspective to others. Okay? Human in the context of human will be giving kind, and human will give also what I call in the context of balance, al-mizan. Balance means they can, because they are Khalifah, they can balance between the human life, the environment, okay, and also the nature. They can balance this. So artificially, they are artificial. They only have intelligence, only the brain, but they don't have the affection. They don't have the raw spiritual, which is they don't have buddhi. Buddhi is absent here. We wanted to have buddhi, not wadi buddhi. If people ask you, have you heard buddhi? All of you already heard buddhi from me, right? How many times I spoke about buddhi here? From 10 o'clock just now? I can remember I was talking about 10 times about buddhi, right? So you say, how many times you heard buddhi? Today, Thursday, you heard 10 times buddhi. And then extension to buddhi, buddhiman, buddhiwati, and then we have the buddhi sejahtera. Wadi buddhi, another one. So what do you have in wadi buddhi? You know what is wadi buddhi? So if this is the first time, you can do the tour of the campus. Okay. But wadi buddhi, you have one cafe, but that cafe is also not cheap, right? Expensive, no? But you have also hall and also a kitchen. Okay. Okay, do this exercise. At the end of the textbook, you have this exercise. But I modified that particular question by adding some of the suggestion that you can do the exercise. Explain two. Okay. Explain the use of expert. Two roles of intuition. Okay, if you this kind of question, take your position to agree or disagree. Your answer should begin with this first. Agree or disagree. And then first you have to put your answer agree, full stop. This must be visible. Okay, and then just start with two factors. Okay. The two factors are what? And what? Okay. Okay, and then next paragraph, okay, you will state the first factor. And then the second factor, and then you conclude. Done. Okay. This, but make sure that whether you have to agree or disagree with this statement. Okay, 2.5 also the same thing. You are asked to take position, and this one is more sophisticated. They ask you to include this. Same format. You must agree, disagree. Okay, this one suggests two ways managers can do to be apparent, etc. So what are this one you can suggest the two ways are what? Okay, and then you begin with one paragraph of the first way, second paragraph the second way, and then last one is the first conclusion. This is the way that to write. So what is the in terms of numbers? One paragraph, you should have minimum 3 sentences. How many words for one sentence? How many words to qualify a sentence? How many words? Minimum also 3 words. What are those 3 words? We have subject, verb, and object. To that extent, no technicality is about English. Even though this is not English class, but you need to write in English. Okay, some people say, no, sir. One paragraph, how many sentences? One sentence, how many words? Okay, because they ask me, in total, how many words? In total, will be this minimum. Okay, if you have this, how many paragraphs? 1, 2, 3. This, let's say 4 paragraphs. So 4 paragraphs multiplied by 3 sentences, you have 12 sentences. 12 sentences multiplied by 3. So what you have? 36 minimum. But if you want to write 100 words, okay. You have to write 200 words, also okay. But you have to check the time given to you, the duration. Okay, if you are given 6 questions, for example, to do in 60 minutes, then you can do your estimation. So start to be realistic with the limitation given, and also the technicalities about writing from the English 101 essay writing. This is just format, format of essay. And the next is the content of the essay. Yeah, but to minimum, you can get content, you can get the format. It's also good. You already have some marks, but the content will be evaluated differently. Okay, I continue again with the explanation of how to write essay, because you will be facing this in your quiz and also in your final exams. Okay, any questions, brothers and sisters? Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, we will continue our discussion in the next class. With that, we urgent with Tasbih Kafara and Salat Qasr. Oh, they can't hear. Yes, no, sister from China can hear, but this sister cannot hear. I can't have you. We already finished. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.